is unfortunate in the sense that this matter has been litigated to death. This matter has been in court more times than any other case in recent history, probably more than Kenyatta was in court when the British took him to court and accused him of being a Mau Mau leader. And when Kenyatta was released, I don't think Kenyans ever asked him, were you in detention because you are a terrorist? Everybody recognized the fact that the British picked him and put him in jail because the British feared the rise of Mau Mau and the end of colonialism. The same thing here. Ken, you know that I was in Kenya since I was born. You know that I went to school in Kenya. Almost all my education except for university education. And you know that I was in Kenya when some people claiming to be police officers, later on I learned, wearing civilian clothing and without knocking, bombed their way into my house and destroyed it and abducted me and detained me in Comunicado for 6 days without taking me to court in violation of the Constitution. And then when there were several court orders demanding and directing that I be taken to court, the state refused to obey the court orders and to follow the Constitution and violated my rights by torturing me and then forcing me out of the country. So to then ask the question why the state has violated the Constitution, subverted the Constitution, and violated my rights, and refused to obey court orders, to then turn that around on me is unfortunate. Because if somebody commits a crime, so let's assume, for instance, for the sake of argument, that swearing Raila in was a crime, then what you do is you arrest someone in a civilized way. You come and arrest me, take me to court, charge me with whatever crime you have cooked up, and I'm ready to face the charges.
Okay.
They didn't do that. They could not even take me to court. So you should be asking them, if this man committed a crime, as you claim he did, why didn't you take him to court? And why haven't you followed or obeyed the court orders?
Okay.
Now, taking me out of the country and forcing me to go out of the country when I was born in Kenya, even though the Kenyan courts have ruled numerous times that I am a Kenyan, I never lost citizenship. Are you suggesting that all those foreigners on the streets of Nairobi and Kenya have been forced out of Kenya because they are foreigners? Okay. Even if I was. Even if I was a foreigner, are foreigners abducted at home at night, their passports are confiscated, destroyed, they are sedated, and put in planes when they are unconscious?
Okay, Daktari.
Like, that's just ridiculous.
Exactly.
And for you,
yeah.
No, let me finish.
Okay.
This is what is most unfortunate with the Kenyan media. This is what I am saying. The Kenyan media has lost its conscience, has lost completely its moral authority to speak on anything. Because instead of being completely upset with the president, the illegitimate president Uhuru Kenyatta, for disobeying court orders and for violating my rights and for subverting the Constitution, you pretend like you don't know what he has done.
Okay.
You pretend that what he's doing is legitimate, and now put me in a position where I have to justify why I'm not in Kenya. But you know why I'm not.
It's not a justification, Daktari. It's not a justification I'm looking for. What I'm looking for, because you have painted this picture even of foreigners, and you ask the question if a foreigner can be bundled out of a country the way it happened to you. So my question is, there must be more than meets the eye. It's not about you not being a foreigner or being a Kenyan. Is it because of the swearing in, or it's because of dual citizenship? That was my question.
Ken, you know for a fact that I'm a Kenyan. I speak better Luo than you. You know for a fact that I have never renounced my Kenyan citizenship. So how did I lose it if I did not renounce it?
Okay.
So obviously I did not lose it. And let's assume that somebody thought I did, right? What is the mechanism of determining that question?
Okay.
It's a court of law in any civilized society, isn't it?
Yes.
The matter went to court. And how did the court rule? Not once, not twice. You yourself have said more than 15 times, isn't it? So what is the honorable thing that a government that obeys the law, that governs itself in accordance with the rule of law, would behave?
Okay.
They obey court orders. Even Moi, now let me just finish.
Yes.
Even Daniel Arap Moi, who was a dictator, and by the way, I know this media house is owned by Moi, but even Moi did not do this. Even Moi did not disobey court orders. Moi did not detain people outside the Constitution, however outrageous it was.
Okay.
Because he had the power to do so. But whenever a court gave him an order, a habeas corpus order, he complied.
Okay. Daktari, well said. So the question, I'll ask my question a different way. So why are they so determined to keep you out of the country? Why are they so determined to violate your rights?
Can fear. Why do people act the way Uhuru Kenyatta has behaved? Because of fear. Uhuru Kenyatta knows that he stole the 2017 elections. Uhuru Kenyatta knows I know this. Uhuru Kenyatta knows that I don't fear him, and I don't fear the gun. I don't fear power. I am not fearful of money. I speak the truth. I am capable of mobilizing. They know this. The intelligence have told them that. I was capable when they tortured me in 1987 and forced me into exile. That's why they did what they did then. I was capable after I swore Raila in, and before then. They knew this.
Okay.
They knew I could not be compromised. Let me finish. They knew I could not be compromised like Raila was through bribery. They knew that even if Raila was bribed the way he was, and he ended up calling for an artificial peace that did not justify the deaths, did not do justice to the deaths that had been perpetrated against his supporters, I would not have agreed.
Okay.
And because they feared that I would be able to mobilize and to organize an effective resistance to their conmanship, they decided, because of fear, we get him out of the country. But that was not their first option.
Yes.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
That was not what they wanted to do first. Their first option, what they wanted to do first when they bombed their way into my house, they wanted to abduct me in the middle of the night so that they could eliminate me, so that they could kill me. Once they failed, because I was able to notify the world as they bombed their way in, because I had been forewarned that they were coming, then they had option two. Detain him as you plan to do something else.
Okay.
Then they cooked up what you called deportation, but you know, but in law you cannot deport a citizen. You cannot deport somebody born in a country. Okay. Remember a woman called Mwende.
Mwende.
Mwende was born in the US. Do you know that? She was not born in Kenya, right? And she was appointed an ambassador. The parliament of Kenya said, no, you can't be appointed an ambassador until you renounce your US citizenship. She refused. Where is she?
South Korea.
She's serving as an ambassador today,
okay,
in violation of the parliamentary resolution. Okay. So what this tells you is that you have a rogue government that does things outside the law.
Okay.
That is what is confronting us.
Okay. So the fear of Miguna Miguna. Well, I want to talk about the disobedience to court orders. 15 times the court has said you need to facilitate Miguna Miguna back to the country. In fact, it's unconditional. There's no condition set for your facilitation. But my question is this. You believe in the rule of law. You believe the court should be obeyed. And yet, you swore in Raila into office against a Supreme Court declaration that Uhuru Kenyatta was duly elected in the second election after it was petitioned by two institutions. You violated the law at that time, Miguna, because the Supreme Court had decided, as a lawyer, as an officer of the court, you are now looking to the law and looking at the court and asking the court, these people are in continuous violation. They've even been fined. But you yourself, after that declaration, violated the law and went ahead to swear in Raila Odinga.
So Ken, you happen to have gone to law school, didn't you? Right? No, I'm asking you a question. You went to law school, right?
I'm listening to you, Miguna.
What law did I break? Tell me which one. Tell me exactly which law. No. Tell me which law, which statute did I break when I swore Raila in? Which law said I couldn't swear him in? Which one? Which section of the Constitution or provision of the Constitution says that I could not swear Raila in?
Is that how presidents are sworn in Kenya? Is that how presidents are sworn in Kenya?
So, no. How many presidents are in Kenya? We have president of the society, right? President of so many organizations.
The head of the executive, Miguna. I'm talking about the head of the executive. Is that how they are sworn in? Because what you purported to do was to swear in Raila as the head of the executive.
You see, now you are diverting attention.
And no, I'm not diverting attention. You asked me a question and I'm responding.
I warned you against this because I knew that this is what you would do. I knew that you would try to get away from Uhuru Kenyatta violating...
No, I'm coming. We all agree he violated your rights and disobeyed court. We agree. We all agree, yes.
You can't answer your own question, and I'm going to answer your question the way I want, not the way you want.
Proceed.
So you better keep quiet when I'm answering your questions.
I will, but don't run away from my question also. Don't run away.
Ken, once you ask me a question, you keep quiet. Otherwise, it is not an interview. I'm not one of those people that you can play around with on this channel.
I believe you're running away from my question by attempting to intimidate me.
If you're not going to interview me, tell me, and I will switch it off.
Let's be civil. Daktari, let's be civil.
Listen.
Let's be civil and begin.
Civil does not mean that I do what you want me to do, even if it is irregular. So listen to me carefully.
Okay, proceed.
All right, listen to me very carefully. There is no law that I broke. That's number one. You cannot cite any law. You cannot simply say that because Uhuru Kenyatta had been sworn in, any swearing in is illegal. That's nonsense, because you would have to cite the law I broke. That's number one. Number two, if I broke a law, so let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you are right. Miguna broke a law and swore Raila in illegally in violation of provision XYZ. What you do, you get a warrant of arrest. You come to Miguna. You serve him with a warrant. You tell him when he should appear in court. He appears in court, you bring your prosecutors, you charge him, and you allow him to defend himself. I will sit there, you will present your case, and I will present mine. I will cross-examine your witnesses. I will test your case, and a court of law will make a decision whether you are right or Miguna is right. Did they do that? No, they didn't. Now, the third point, what has the High Court so far ruled with respect to me swearing Raila in? The High Court, if you forgot, has ruled that there was no illegality in swearing Raila in, which means I did something perfectly legal. That's the High Court. There is no court in Kenya that has ruled that I did anything illegal. In fact, they said I did everything legal. Last point, the person I swore in is the one that had the handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. He was not charged. His house was not bombed. He's running around freely. Right now, I understand he's in Dubai. So how can you have the audacity to accuse me of swearing somebody in illegally when you have not charged that person? So why are you charging me and not him? Do you understand? And that is how ridiculous your question is, because you have not asked Raila that question. You have never asked him that question, and yet you've had 4 years to do so.
I'll go back to my original question before this question, because the original question that you also ran away from was, why then do you think that they are so determined to get you out of the country and not everyone else was involved in that process? Why Miguna Miguna? Why Miguna Miguna? That was my original question.
Because Miguna is not Ken. He's not a coward. Okay? Miguna is not you.